Hey, I'm here at the site of McCullough Student Center. It used to be McCullough Gym back before it was converted into a whole student center. And I'm here with this photo from Vermont Life magazine from 1982. And it shows this massive bonfire that's at the site right here where that stone is right now. And see a huge crowd of students gathered around that doorway. And when I was reading this article from Vermont Life, I think what really interested me is how these gatherings would take place around football games, that people would gather for these rallies for football games. And the article was saying that people would go to the frats and they'd have these afternoon parties. And then they'd leave the frats and come and party and have bonfires and go to the football game. And I think what drew me to that story is that we don't have all of that at Middlebury today. We don't have fraternities who are hosting these parties. And the community is not really coming together around football games and pep rallies like they did in the 80s. You don't see people gathering in front of the gym and having bonfires. And I think it's these changing traditions that we do at Middlebury, where maybe that's not a tradition that we have now, even though it's a tradition we had in the past. So did you know that there was historically a bonfire that would be held here before football games?
Are you kidding? What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like,
what the heck?
I think change is important. So I think that somehow, for some reason, it served its purpose. And here we are now, being interviewed about it. So it's pretty interesting the way that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you think is like the changing role of frats in the culture here? Like if this was kind of connected to frat culture, these like big turnouts for football games.
Oh yeah. It's a great question. Well, I think that, this is clearly a very communal activity to be able to be amongst fire and amongst people. And I think as we strive to foster connection and foster growth, we begin to find some sense of harmony and balance between what it means to interact with people, what it means to accept people and all the dimensions in which they embody, you know?
And I think what's also interesting is if you look at this photo, you can see that the doorway is at a much higher point compared to the ground than it is today. And I think it took me a while when I first looked at this photo. I couldn't really tell where it was taken because I was like, oh, it's at a doorway that's elevated, like the doorway of Old Chapel or the doorways of Forest Hall, that it's at this higher point with stairs going down. And I think it's also the changing landscape of the college campus. It really is highlighted in this photo because they raised the entire ground during the renovations of McCullough when they converted it into a student center and offices away from a gym. And it really made me think about how like the ways that students understand the campus back then are so different to now, just because the whole landscape has changed. Even though it seems so natural today, it's just the ground. You don't think how that was a whole different relation to how you're getting into buildings and how you're interacting in the space that you can see today. There's tables, a patio, people are out here studying in the sun, when in the past it's just like a dirt lot with students gathered around a massive bonfire. And I think that change in the landscape, that change in how people are using the space is really interesting to me. So I'm going to try recreating this photo from Vermont Life in the present day on this sunny day at Middlebury College.